Religion and Racism, Indigenous People and the Land. It's a virtual town hall set to take place tonight. Good morning, ladies and gentlemen. I'm News 8 digital anchor Luke Laster here from the Wood TV Live Desk. A handful of panelists expected to speak, and one of them, Levi Rickert of the Prairie Band Potawatomi Nation. He joins us live now via Zoom. Levi, good morning. How are you today?
I'm doing well, Luke. Good morning to you.
Levi, you might be muted there. Are you muted by chance?
No, let me hold on one second.
Can you hear me now?
There we go. Now we got you. All right. Well, anyway, thanks for taking some time here. Hey, let's get rolling here with a little bit on your background. Could you explain a little bit on how you kind of got involved here with this panel?
Well, I am the publisher editor of Native News Online. I'm based here in Grand Rapids, and Barbara reached out to me. They have this series going on religion and racism, and this one focuses on the Indigenous land. So I'm happy to participate.
So she just had reached out to you about kind of getting involved here, because I was going to ask there how you kind of got with Momentum Center and the Anti-Racism Task Force there.
Well, I think she reached out to me because of the work that Native News Online does regarding land back movement, and there's a real emphasis on Native Americans and the land, and universities around the state are doing land acknowledgements. Oftentimes now publicly, when you go to events, there's a land acknowledgement of the people that lived here prior to colonial contact.
Why did you decide to agree and take part in this?
Well, I think anytime we can lend a voice, I think it's important to I kind of like the tone of the healing racism that Barbara brings to the table, and anything I can do to help heal racism in this community, the better.
So we have three panelists. It is you, Eric Hemingway, Kevin Locke, and then there's a Q&A section. What are some of the main topics that you would like to hit on, that you plan to hit on?
Well, I'm going to talk about the fact that people should acknowledge that these were indigenous lands prior to European contact, and that we should respect the earth. And I think it kind of ties with the environmental issues, climate change, and Native Americans historically have been, I like to say we were the first environmentalists. And so I think there's a real need in modern times to really respect the land and the waterways as well.
As for those other panelists, can you share a little bit about, are you friendly with them? Do you know them? Do you know what they'll be speaking on?
I think that we were told to talk about land acknowledgement and I guess our ties to the land. I do know Eric from, he's with the Little Traverse Bay Bands of Odawa Indians up in Harbor Springs, right by Petoskey. So he and I have worked before together. I've interviewed him for stories that Native News Online has published. And Kevin Locke is a professor out of South Dakota, I believe, and I do not know him.
What are you hoping comes from today's panel?
Well, I like the idea that we are included in the discussions of religion and racism as Native Americans. Oftentimes we are the forgotten minority, quite frankly, and that's one of the reasons I started Native News Online, is to bring awareness to contemporary Native Americans. We're still here present in today's society, and I think that's an important message.
So what are the next steps once today's panel, once it happens, once you get that question and answer session over with? What do you hope comes after that?
Well, I hope that I'm real strong in healing and people living together in peace, and I think we see it even can borrow from what's happening in Ukraine right now. I think that's people are being exploited by one man's greed, and often that's what happened here in the United States. Was the greed that left our people without land, quite frankly. And so I just think that we're at a time in modern society we all need to live together and try to coexist and live in a very peaceful manner.
Levi, we appreciate your time. Is there anything else that you would like to put out there here again ahead of tonight's forum?
Well, I just hope that you post the connection, the link for tonight's program, and people will tune in. So
Levi, thanks again. We appreciate it.
My pleasure. Thank you.
Ladies and gentlemen, this has been a look at the Wood TV Live Desk. Attached to this stream, it'll take you over to woodtv.com where you'll be able to find our full conversation here if you tuned in late or if you're just tuning in now. But again, head over to woodtv.com. We'll have it there for you. Levi, thank you. And folks, we'll see you around. Have a great afternoon.